We're jumping right into the heart of the action today. Just picture the scene. The floodlights are beaming down on an electric Boston stadium. The atmosphere is absolutely buzzing. And the stakes for this Group L fixture? Wow, they are massive. Today, we're breaking down an absolute masterclass in tournament football. A true, gritty, tactical deadlock between England and Ghana that kept everyone on the absolute edge of their seats from the very first whistle to the last.
Okay, let's dive into this. The entire match really revolves around this one fundamental question. What happens when an unstoppable tournament favorite meets an immovable defensive wall? Out there on the pitch, we witnessed a classic clash of footballing philosophies. You've got a team widely tipped as the tournament favorites, bringing all their heavy attacking firepower, and they're running headfirst into a squad that absolutely refused to give up even an inch of grass. It's literally the unstoppable force meeting the immovable object. And, as you'll see, the friction that created was just mesmerizing.
To really wrap our heads around the tension here, we've got to look at the momentum both teams brought into this game. Thomas Tuchel's Three Lions stepped onto the pitch riding high, coming off a super dominant, free-flowing 4-2 opening victory against Croatia. Boasting one of the most expensive attacking lineups in the whole tournament, they were hungry. They wanted to lock down their spot in the knockout rounds early. But against them, we have Ghana, and they arrived surging with adrenaline, totally energized by a dramatic late win against Panama. The Black Stars weren't just out there looking to survive. They stepped onto the turf looking to orchestrate a historic World Cup upset.
Section 1. An iron-clad first half. The tactical setup. The opening 45 minutes were essentially a highly calculated, measured game of chess between the two managers. And this brilliantly illustrates the clashing playstyles. England's strategy was clear from the get-go. Dominate possession, string those passes through the center of the park, and let Jude Bellingham try to pick the lock of the Ghanaian backline. On the flip side, manager Carlos Queiroz had the Black Stars impeccably prepared. Ghana deployed this uncompromising, deep-sitting defensive block, basically a brick wall that just absorbed England's possession without ever breaking its structural shape.
The progression of the half really shows how the frustration and, honestly, the physicality escalated as the clock wore on. I mean, England had the ball from minute 1, right? But as we hit the middle of the half, the few half chances that actually fell to Harry Kane were instantly snuffed out by that resolute Ghanaian defense. As the pressure cooked, the physicality spiked. By the 41st minute, England's midfield anchor Declan Rice was forced into taking a yellow card. He had to commit a tactical foul just to shut down a super dangerous Ghanaian counterattack. Because of that rigid tactical discipline on both sides, the teams walked down the tunnel at halftime firmly locked at 0-0.
Section 2. Ghana's second half surge. The underdog strikes back.
The Black Stars emerged from the locker room with an entirely different gear. They turned a slow chess match into a high-octane sprint. Early in the half, the game just bursts into life. Gideon Mensah picks up the ball and pings an absolutely beautiful sweeping crossfield pass. It finds Marvin Senaya perfectly in stride. Senaya brings it down flawlessly, controls it with his chest, puts his head down, and drives fiercely straight into the England penalty box. The stadium is absolutely roaring. The momentum has completely flipped. Senaya winds up for the effort, but out of nowhere comes Djed Spence. Spence throws his body on the line, making a desperate, absolutely crucial challenge at the last possible millisecond to block the shot. It is a stunning defensive intervention. This right here? This highlights the razor-thin margins of tournament football. One fraction of a second slower, and Ghana takes the lead, and Thomas Tuchel probably needs his blood pressure checked.
That frantic sequence set the tone. As the clock ticked up to the 60-minute mark, you could literally feel the pressure cooker about to pop. Tackles were flying in, the crowd was deafening, and every single loose ball turned into a battlefield.
Right at that 60th minute mark, the referee reaches into his pocket again. Ghana's Iñaki Williams goes into the book, shown a yellow card for a very heavy challenge. So the crucial point is that this card wasn't just a foul. It was a visual barometer of the immense pressure and the staggering high stakes that were building out there. Neither side was willing to give up a single inch, and the physicality was just the natural byproduct of that absolute desperation.
Section 3. The 86-minute climax. Substitutions and spectacular saves.
Recognizing that the game was trapped in this tactical deadlock and quickly slipping away, England's manager Thomas Tuchel knew he had to roll the dice. He turns to his bench and unleashes an arsenal of fresh attacking talent. Bukayo Saka, Morgan Rogers, and Marcus Rashford all enter the fray. This was a massive narrative shift.
Tuchel was injecting raw speed and dynamic creativity into the England attack, desperately trying to bypass that iron-clad Ghanaian wall before time ran out.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because those fresh legs instantly change the geometry of the pitch, bringing us right into a frantic 86th minute. The clock is relentlessly ticking down.
The ball finds Bukayo Saka out on the right wing. He faces his defender, drops his shoulder, and brilliantly cuts inside onto his favored left foot. It's a move we've seen 100 times, right? But it's executed to absolute perfection here. From 20 yards out, Saka unleashes a signature, sweeping, curling strike. It's heading right for the top corner. Thousands of English fans in Boston Stadium collectively hold their breath as the ball arcs through the air.
But Benjamin Asare says no. Ghana's substitute goalkeeper launches himself across the goal mouth and pulls off a genuinely spectacular diving save. He gets a strong hand to it, pushing the ball away from danger at the absolute final moment. It is a moment of pure heroics from Asare. Just a massive, massive save that keeps the Black Stars alive and repels England's best chance of the entire match.
Following that incredible save, the fourth official holds up the board. 5 minutes of stoppage time. 5 frantic, agonizing minutes where England threw absolutely everything they had left at the Ghanaian penalty area. But Ghana? They relentlessly held their ground, clearing every cross, blocking every shot, surviving wave after wave until the referee finally blew the full-time whistle.
Section 4. The high-stakes fallout. Group L standings. As the dust settles and the stadium finally catches its breath, we have to look at the aftermath of this hard-fought 0-0 stalemate. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly balanced everything is. Both England and Ghana are sitting on 4 points, totally tied at the top of Group L. The unstoppable force and the immovable object effectively neutralized each other, which means this group is entirely wide open. Everything, and I mean everything, is left to be decided.
Which leaves us with this massive question as we wrap up today. Both teams locked at 4 points. Who is actually going to survive the final round of the group stage? Can England recapture that lethal scoring form, or will Ghana's iron-clad defense carry them to a historic knockout round appearance? The tension is far from over, you guys. Thanks so much for joining me to break down this incredible match. Keep your eyes glued to Group L, because the next chapter is going to be absolutely unmissable.